episode of Valentina Design Universe. Today, it's about the Atrium Delight. Do you know that through the years of my designing career, history has given me always an opportunity to an inspiration to design homes with different feel, character, um, things that I've always looked for pleasant layouts and where the rooms will flow together, and where also room were filled with natural light, and especially where nature decorated the interiors all by itself. In Italy, I grew up with in a excuse me, I grew up in a one-story home with a terrace above where women hung their clothes. You've seen many of those pictures, and they dried the tomatoes on a flat board, and the kids played up in this terrace. But the building had a central atrium, like a courtyard, if you will, which it was open to the sky. So basically, it would be raining in on a rainy day. It was a playground for adults, as I recall. It was like an outdoor space. It was enclosed by walls, and it was closed by a large iron door that led to the street. The adults gathered in the atrium to play cards, to talk, and to have some drinks and eat and share food, share their life stories. Then there were balconies on the first floor where all the rooms led to the courtyard. They overlooked the courtyard, the atrium. So, what is the atrium? As you see in my pictures on on the right side, there is the house of the Golden Cupid, and on the left, the house of Veti. This is in Pompeii. So, in ancient Roman houses, the atrium was an open central court, as you can see from the picture, that contained a basin for rainwater to be collected. It functioned also as the center of a family life. The atrium design was revived in the 20th centuries for office building and shoppings, malls and stuff like that, shopping center, that they were covered with glass at the top, filled with greenery, and with multi-story spaces where all the shops are. And so it has become available again, but only for commercial purposes. But you know, even in America, there was a time where atriums were used in apartment buildings. In fact, in the film, if you recall the 1954 Alfred Hitchcock movie, Rear Windows, a great movie with Grace Kelly and James Stewart, we see how the life of people living in those buildings evolved around an atrium. In a single family home, the atrium is a private affair. The entrance to the house was through a door leading from the street to the central garden of the house. All of the rooms led to the atrium or this central garden, as you see it in my picture. The atrium, on beautiful days, functioned as the living room, the garden, the dining room, the reading room. On the rainy days, all those activities moved to the interior part of the house. Patricians, Romans homes built their homes in this kind of fashion. The bedrooms opened to the atrium, as well as dining areas for summer and winter. The layout of the house ran around the atrium. They situated bedrooms under a portico, as you can see it in the pictures, porticos, and where people and guests enjoyed the view of the fragrant central garden, because that's where also they grow their lemons and oranges, bergamot, and all this scented fruit. Kitchen, baths, and servant quarters were located further away to keep the smell away. In the Roman atrium, musicians entertained with their music. The men talked about politics and businesses. Women occupied themselves with kids, gossips, women activities. So basically, the atrium was the area of the house for socializing, as we might use the living room today. Today, however, all of those activities have shifted to the backyard. From the street, we now enter the house through a door leading to a foyer or a living room, directly in the living room. Then, often from the kitchen, or the living room, we go to the backyard, which is usually fenced in to keep the neighbors out. That's another thing that we have lost, the trust of people. Before, in the atrium, the neighbors were allowed to come in. Now, in our backyard, we allow only people we know. The four walls of the house protected the dreamers. I always dream of a natural living surrounded by nature, colorful waters, positive vibes from fluid architecture, which we do not have anymore. A fluid architecture that exudes the earth energy. And I'm dreaming about a place that is an outdoor and indoor that protects my family or my friends as if they would be in a oasis. What is your ideal house dream? Do you have one? Well, maybe you like to let me know in this thread, and maybe you like to tell me if you were watching live or replay. Until next time, with another episode of The Evolution of the Home. So basically, I'm doing this, as I said many times, I'm doing this to pass the time, to entertain you and myself, and let the love of the home come to us. Because this is not just time we're forced in. This is a time we need to love our house and discover the spirit and discover the beautiful things of our shelter in. Until next time, love, peace. Bye.